I've been thinking a lot recently about compounding. Not money, business. Because I think most people massively underestimate the power of small decisions. We're obsessed with big moments, the promotion, the client win, the funding round, the viral LinkedIn post, the campaign that smashes it. But when I look back over my career, none of those things changed everything. What changed everything were hundreds of tiny decisions that didn't feel important at the time. One good hire, one difficult conversation, one process that got a bit better, one client that we looked after really well, one extra hour spent learning something new. On their own, they're almost meaningless, but together, they completely change the trajectory of a business. I think we've all been conditioned to expect overnight success, and social media doesn't help. You see someone launch a business, go viral, sell for millions, and it looks like it happened overnight, and it didn't. You just weren't watching the previous 10 years, the boring years, the years that they kept turning up, kept learning, kept improving, kept making those tiny decisions that no one gave a shit about. That's compounding. I actually think business is a lot like going to the gym. No one goes to the gym once, looks in the mirror and thinks, fuck me, everything's changed. Nothing's changed. You don't look different, you don't feel much stronger, you haven't transformed overnight, but go 4 times a week for 3 years, and suddenly everyone asks, what have you been doing? And the answer is nothing exciting, just kept showing up. Business works exactly the same. Culture compounds, trust compounds, relationships compound, reputation compounds, learning compounds, every mistake compounds. Every conversation you have with a client, every piece of content you publish, every person you recruit, the processes you improve. You're either making the business slightly better or slightly worse. And the difficult bit is you don't usually notice until months or years later. One of the biggest lessons that I've learned building Bind is that consistency beats intensity every single time. People get excited by huge bursts of effort, working all weekend, pulling all-nighters, but businesses aren't built in bursts. They're built through consistency, through showing up Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, doing boring things really well, again and again and again. That's what compounds. The funny thing about compounding is that it's invisible until it isn't. No one noticed the first 100 LinkedIn posts, and then suddenly they say, you're everywhere. No one notices the first 50 improvements to your business, and suddenly they say, you've built a great company. Nobody notices the first 100 workouts, and then they say, you've changed. The outcome always looks dramatic, but the process never is. I think that's why people give up too early. They expect immediate results from things that only reward patience. They post twice and then stop. They try AI for a day and then stop. They hire one person and expect everything to change. They improve one process and wonder why the business isn't transformed. It's not how compounding works. It rewards people who keep going after everyone else has stopped. So these days I don't really obsess over the big moments anymore. I obsess over today's decisions because tomorrow's business is just a result of thousands of today's decisions stacked on top of each other. And if there's one thing that I've learned, it's this. Great businesses aren't built through massive breakthroughs. They're built through tiny improvements, repeated relentlessly, because business is just compounding. Thanks for listening. Peace and love.